away! Hello everyone! My name is the MacTac here, and welcome to an update video for my Fire Kathleen Kennedy petition. Yes, that still exists, and there are still people signing the petitions. And I gotta say, why it shocks me though, is because I have not been on change.org for a long time. I thought about getting back on to do a new petition to have Hasbro resell some of the studio series that are literally in scalping prices right now, so they resell them in stores with the right prices instead of it being thousands of dollars. But I'll still make that petition sometime, but I just didn't get the time, and now I just got back on to jump and look at that petition after looking at one of my oldest images of my biggest successes of the petition, gaining 200 or 300 signatures. Right now, I figured out that while I was gone the whole time, I've still have been getting people has still been signing my petition. And it is gaining to 400 signatures. The goal right now is to gain 500. Now, 500 will not be the final goal, because normally when you reach a certain number for your goal, they bump it up a lot more. It's kind of how change.org works, but right now I have 370 signatures on my petition. I am so glad that we all can come to an agreement and say that Kathleen Kennedy does not know what she's doing with Star Wars. It is that clear. Starting with the Last Jedi, with her work with The Last Jedi, letting Rian Johnson put all that divisive nonsense in The Last Jedi. Then, of course, with Rise of Skywalker, although as fan service that movie is, with the whole showing the wrecked Death Star and stuff like that, that still was a very terrible film. Which is funny though, I used to say that it was better than The Last Jedi, which I will go honest, it is still better than The Last Jedi. But I will also be honest and say it's just The Last Jedi 2.0. It's just the sequel. It's definitely a sequel to The Last Jedi, because it's The Last Jedi 2.0. Then, with Kathleen Kennedy's sheer stupidity of being a coward in firing Gina Carano over a supposed controversial tweet without letting her know that it was a problem personally, she decides to fire her on social media. Now, how cowardice is that for Kathleen Kennedy to hide in her basement to fire Gina Carano? When we all know that the Mandalorian actor, Pedro Pascal, his tweets were just as worse as Gina Carano's, but oh no. It was okay with Disney, because Pedro Pascal's political controversial tweet was all part of their narrative, so yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. Gina Carano couldn't have her free speech, so apparently her being a strong woman was used against her. So apparently Disney just proved her that women can't be strong, since that was their motive, right? That was their motive, right? So is the Force female, Kathleen Kennedy? No. I don't think so, since you had to fire Gina Carano for her tweets and freedom of speech. But let me go ahead and talk about some slight spoilers for the Book of Boba Fett. So if you have not watched the Book of Boba Fett, skip this to this number frame of the video right now. But if you're still watching this and have not watched the series, then I warned you. I warned you, okay? So, while I go through the spoilers, I'll let you know why this is also another problem with Kathleen Kennedy's leadership at Lucasfilm, and what Dave Filoni has been doing for the Book of Boba Fett that has been bumping up to the right direction for Star Wars. Now, I will go ahead and let you know that yes, there has been problems with this show. And now I will go ahead and give on my full honest thoughts about the full season 1 since the finale has dropped today. And we already know that Boba Fett talks way too much in the show. He does. And it turns out the Boba Fett actor literally said that he originally wanted Boba Fett to stay quiet like he always did in the original trilogy. But, no. They wanted him to talk. They wanted him to talk. So, apparently the actor of Boba Fett was even admitting that the show was pretty much not doing as good as The Mandalorian, which in all accounts, it wasn't. Look, the show isn't bad to me. It's not a bad show. It could have been better. It's not a bad show. I still enjoyed it nonetheless. But I do agree, this show is not as good as The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian, in many ways, has its reasons of why it's such a great, phenomenal Star Wars series. The Book of Boba Fett, the reason why it has its problems is because it's literally has Boba Fett not just talking too much, but Boba Fett also gets treated as the weakest character and gets his butt whooped so bad throughout the first episodes, and you barely see him use his jetpack until the finale. Then, another thing we already know is that throughout the next episodes, before the finale, it turns into The Mandalorian Season 2.5. If that's how I'm supposed to pronounce Mandalorian's appearance in the Book of Boba Fett in the series, I hope I pronounced it right. But look, The Mandalorian actually had episodes in the Book of Boba Fett when it's not even his show. And they had Boba Fett kind of be a side character of one of the Mandalorian episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. I was like, what? It was so weird. But then they brought back Luke Skywalker, which of course is no surprise. And holy crap, they actually did better with the CGI deepfake face of Luke Skywalker, as we already know that the one deepface Luke Skywalker CGI from the finale of Season 2 of The Mandalorian, it sucked. It looked like a PlayStation 2 character. No joke, it looked like a PlayStation 2 character. But in the Book of Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker actually looks like Luke Skywalker, which is actually awesome. And even in that episode, we got to see Luke Skywalker meet Ahsoka Tano, which I think is awesome. That is what everyone has wanted to see between the two characters. Everyone has wanted to see those characters meet, and we got to see it. It's amazing. Then, as you know, we got the whole tease of whether if Grogu wants to stay with Luke or Mando, which in the finale we figured out that he's going with Mando. So Grogu is back in season 3 of The Mandalorian, baby. Let's go! But only problem is, to me, is I don't think I'm going to be watching The Mandalorian now because of the simple fact that we may not see Cara Dune because of the stupid fact that Kathleen Kennedy had to hide in her basement and fire Gina Carano unfairly. But here's the hoping that they actually keep Cara Dune in the show and just recast the role. I'm not, as much as I'd love her to be played by Gina Carano again, I'm just hoping they'd recast her. Because they just wasted their money on nothing. They're just gonna completely pretend that Cara Dune doesn't exist. That's just Disney just flushing money down the toilet. That's all I'm saying. Then, of course, we got those new members of Boba Fett's team, which apparently is the Star Wars, which is the Power Rangers of the Star Wars universe with their Power Ranger colored vehicles. See, like, there's a lot of things about the Book of Boba Fett that was hardly even Star Wars. Like, it was so unnecessary. Introducing that thief gang, that was unnecessary. They didn't even look like Star Wars characters at all. They just looked like a knockoff of Power Rangers. But that's like the thing, though. I do not like those characters at all. I'm sorry. I didn't like those characters. The thief gang, I didn't like those characters at all. They really had no importance in the show at all. And they're just proof that Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy is just, it's terrible. It's terrible. Say what you want about my opinions about it. It's terrible. You can't change my opinions about it. But we do also get the first ever live action debut of Cad Bane from the Clone Wars, which made me go nuts when I seen that first debut. I went nuts. So, again, with Dave Filoni having more creative control with Star Wars under Disney now, instead of Kathleen Kennedy, we already know that was a big, big hopeful sign for Star Wars under Disney no longer being treated like crap. But we already know, even if we got some good out of Dave Filoni having more creative control for future Star Wars projects, we know we're going to still have more problems when it comes to Star Wars being ruled under Kathleen Kennedy. She's going to try and put her nose to where it's not belong in the franchise, and she'll do her best and release the show. Her whatever show. We know we're supposed to still get that Acolyte show, which is going to be Kathleen Kennedy's show, which is going to be a woke Star Wars show. You can't tell me that it's not woke, because clearly we all should be smart enough to know that we did research on that show, and clearly we've seen plenty of things said about the show. Even someone who is part of the crew of making the show is also known for making controversial tweets. Is also involved with making the Acolyte show. So that's why it's woke. Because we got people who aren't Star Wars fans working on Acolyte. Want to know what happens with a show made by people who doesn't understand its franchise and stuff like that? It flops. We should know that by now. We should. But despite all the good that we did get for Book of Boba Fett, despite it not being the best show like Mandalorian was, it still was an alright show to me. But I do say that after all that all those problems we got of Boba Fett talking too much, along with Boba Fett not being a mysterious character like the actor wanted him to be in the show, along with the fact that we had those problems in the Boba Fett show, period. Also, the things that happen in the show making it look not like Star Wars. That is why we need Kathleen Kennedy out of Lucasfilm, because she does not know how to run the brand of Star Wars. It's been clear, starting with The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. She doesn't know what Star Wars is, and she doesn't care what it is. That is why, as of right now, I will happily continue to send links for my petition to fire Kathleen Kennedy. Because after seeing that it is almost at 400 signatures, that made me hyped as all get out and thankful to all those people out there who signed the petition and literally understands that Star Wars is not good under Kathleen Kennedy, despite what she tries to do with the franchise, even if she doesn't have more creative control. Sorry. What do you guys think about my Fire Kathleen Kennedy petition almost hitting 400 signatures by going to 370 signatures? Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment down, subscribe down below for more videos in the future of this channel. And don't forget to go to change.org on this link here and sign my petition to fire Kathleen Kennedy to ensure that Star Wars is free from woke nonsense and no creative ideas whatsoever. I don't care if Disney is a powerful company and they have a lot of money and they have their full-on trust of Kathleen Kennedy. I don't care about that at all. They need to get rid of her. The Star Wars fans will use their voices. The Mac Attack, signing out.